Welcome to our first episode of the Bravado Blitz. I'm your host, Eric Shannon, and this is my co-host, man that's been either playing or coaching sports, collegiate, high school, recreational level, and a longtime friend of mine, Mr. Brian Shows.
Well, thanks, Eric.
Thanks. I think this is going to be an adventure.
Man, thanks for having me up here to be a part of this new show. I'm excited to see what we can do this year. So let's get it on.
Let's get it started. I'm pretty pumped as well. Let's see what's in store for us. So sports fans, strap on your helmet and get ready for the Bravado Blitz. Welcome back, and our first ever Bravado Wireless Power of Connection poll. This poll is a combination of state rankings, district standings, teams who have played, and some we've got to see. You may not agree with all of our picks, but here are our first ever Power of Connection poll, Bravado Wireless, and this is the part that's going to be fun. Starting off, number one in our pick is the Beggs Demons. Broken Bow Savages at number 2, Idaho Warriors number 3, Seminole Chieftains coming at number 4, Vian Wolverines at number 5.
Well, 6, we have Tahlequah Tigers. 7, the Muskogee Roughers. 8, the Hilldale Hornets. 9, Fort Gibson Tigers. And bringing up at number 10, the Tahlequah Sequoia Indians.
And, and there's going to be a few teams that we've missed, like McAllister Buffaloes and Dewar Dragons. Morris Eagles, some of the other teams, and it's not really conducive to like playing each other. It's more or less kind of like I don't know, just a power poll.
Yeah, and it's an opinion. I mean, it's the first week of the season, so obviously they'll change quite a bit after this week.
Yeah, obviously we're going to see a lot of changes. And what's fun is you can get on Facebook and you say we think Tahlequah should be ranked higher, Hilldale should be ranked higher, or we don't think this team should be in there at all. That's the fun of it. We're going to try to have an interactive Bravado Blitz as much as possible. You can tell us if we stink, he needs a haircut, or whatever.
So tell us when we're wrong.
Exactly. All right. When we come back, we're going to discuss the game of the week, and we'll have Checotah Wildcats head coach Chad Hendricks when we come right back.
Big wireless companies keep getting bigger and bigger, but their coverage where you live is still small. At Bravado Wireless, we provide the best unlimited talk, text, and data for only $40 a month, right here in Eastern Oklahoma. You deserve to connect fast to your family, friends, and colleagues, wherever they are, with no interruptions and no excuses. Don't buy into big. Go bold. Go Bravado. Visit bravadowireless.com or visit one of our stores, where we make it easy to join our family. Bravado Wireless. We believe in the power of connection.
Welcome back. Thanks for sticking around with us. And our guest now is Checotah Wildcat coach Chad Hendricks. Chad, thank you for visiting with us. Thanks for coming in. So, Coach, let's get the elephant out of the room. You've had some pretty good scrimmages, but had kind of an unexpected result last Friday night with one of your running backs.
Oh yeah, Zion Nichols. We had a little injury. I don't think it's very serious, but he's probably gonna be out, next 2 to 3, 4 weeks.
Right.
Had a break in his foot, a little bone in his foot, so I think he'll come back from that, and those are things that happen, so it's just next man up and just keep moving forward.
Right, and you guys, we discussed it before we came in. In fact, we discussed it in our media days. You guys have some pretty good depth. So
Yes, we do. That's one thing that we try to create. I tell our guys all the time that, for us to be successful on Friday nights, there's going to have to be around 20 to 24 of you that play in a game.
Right.
Whether it be injury or fatigue or different situations. So, we always try to create depth, and we try to get tons of reps with them in scrimmage so they get a chance to improve and get ready to play.
Right. Well, long ago, and back when they had the old rotary phone or the old phones you actually picked up, Coach always said when that phone rings, you got to pick it up and answer it. So,
right.
So, but that's awesome. It's one thing we talked about media days is you guys are blessed with some depth, and hopefully this will show through a little bit. And we do wish Zion that he gets well soon. But sometimes it's a kind of could be a blessing in disguise.
It is, and going into our non-district games, we think that he'll be back for district play. So I always think of our non-district as preseason football. Let's do what we got to do to find those pieces, those missing pieces, to make ourselves better. Of course, we want to win all of our games, but we're not. If we lose all of them, it's not have no effect on our playoff run. So, so it's a good chance to have some other guys, some younger guys, get some opportunities early to get them ready.
Exactly. All right, Coach, let's talk about scrimmage. You've had 2 scrimmages under your belt. How do you feel going into the season?
Well, I feel good. I mean, it's a long process when you start spring ball in May and all the summer stuff that you do, and you just get ready to play. We made the comment last week. I said, I feel like we should be playing a game right now.
Right.
We've had a lot of things going on. But I think we've scrimmaged well. We've had, like I said, we've had an opportunity to get a lot of younger players in there because we knew he had the pieces. It's a matter of where can we put these puzzle pieces together, how they'll fit and things like that. So it gave us a good chance to do some of that last couple of weeks. I think our scrimmage against Poto was well. It gave us a chance to, of course, when they come in, we always played up, to that, and then we got a little excited and it was intense. So we got to see that part of our team and see how they'd handle things like that. And then coming back last week, and it was a little different because it was a 3-way scrimmage, so we were on and off, and so there's that law. So it gave us a chance to see how we do things differently in different situations. So we're excited.
It's great that you to hear you say the different aspects of playing like against just the one team against Poto and then the 3-way, because a lot of people out there, they don't really think about, well, why do you do stuff like this? Well, you kind of have a method to the madness. So so that's great to hear that. All right, let's talk about Keys. You got Keys Friday night, going to Keys.
Yes.
So first game, you don't travel too far, but still you're traveling, and it's for. First game out of the box, man, everyone has to be nervous.
Yes, that's that first game. Well, it's nervous and excitement and all those factors that play into it. Keys for us, the last 2 years we've battled. We've split the last 2 years.
Right.
They beat us down there last year, and the way we district laid out, we're traveling there again this year. And so we're going to prepare ourselves. They do a good job up there. They're well prepared. They're tough, physical, and so we're going to go in there and just do what we can do to try to get the W.
All right, folks. If you're a Checotah Wildcats fan, get on that. Follow that big yellow dog over there across the river into Cherokee County. They'll be playing the Keys Cougars this Friday night, 7:30. And if you can't make it, it's going to be a live broadcast. And I think it's going to be our first game of the season, and this is our first show of the season for the Bravado Blitz, and very exciting things. So, Coach, certainly we appreciate you coming up.
Well, thanks for having me.
And we'll have you up here a couple of times. Holy cow! I mean, we ought to just call us the Checotah Wildcats channel, because we're going to be covering the Wildcats 4 times this season.
Oh, wow.
Which is very exciting. And but let's keep all these young men in mind. Hopefully everyone comes out unscathed, no major injuries. Like Zion, he'll bounce back. No major injuries. Everyone has good sportsmanship, and certainly knowing you and Coach Crittenden, I know you guys are very high on the sportsmanship and being good stewards of the game and everything. But Coach, good luck. I appreciate you coming out.
Me.
Good luck Friday night.
Thank you.
And folks, Friday night at the Keys Cougars over at Park Hill, we'll be covering the Checotah Wildcats and Keys Cougars. So stick around. After this, we will have the Keys Cougars coach, Mitchell Crittenden, coming up.
There is truly no place like home. Right here in Eastern Oklahoma, Bravado Wireless provides the best unlimited talk, text, and data for only $40 a month. We believe in strong, connected communities. That's why we live stream community events like local football games. You may not know us by name, but we'll be at the same festivals and cheering for our kids on the same sidelines, because we live where you live. Visit bravadowireless.com or visit one of our stores, where we make it easy to join our family. Bravado Wireless. We believe in the power of connection.
Welcome back to the Bravado Blitz, and we have the Keys Cougars head coach with us right now, and Mitchell Crittenden. Coach Crittenden, thank you very much for taking the time to come across the river and visit us over here. And so let's tackle the first big subject. Man, you guys got banged up a little bit in the last 2 scrimmages.
Yes, we've suffered some injuries. I told somebody it's like week 4 or 5 when you start having those things.
Right.
And everybody else usually has those nicks too. So we're going to have to get them well, and the the first 3 are non-district games, so depending on the injuries and how they're progressing, they may not play in these, until they get back.
Right. Now, we were talking about one of your big kids, one of your offensive linemen, suffered a little bit of injury. He had an injury last year. But, just kind of the mental aspect, coming back from that injury, from any of these kids, these young kids, what do you tell all these kids that are coming back from injuries mentally? I mean, how do they go attack that?
Well, nowadays, a lot of it goes back to mental toughness, and I've been in it a long time, obviously, and that's one of the things you have to kind of coach now a lot of times, because a lot of kids, they don't grow up working, necessarily. When I grew up, young men hauled hay.
Yeah, not in the hay fields like we were, right?
Exactly. So they were out in the heat, and they're used to that, having to be mentally tough and physically tough to be able to do that kind of work. And a lot of them, if you can't get them in the weight rooms and stuff, they stay in the air conditioning all summer and things. So you have to get them in shape and things like that. And when you do suffer an injury like that, it's human nature, self-preservation, to want to protect that, and you kind of gun shy sometimes. And it's something everybody handles differently.
Right.
Some kids, they just blow it off and keep going, and others have to kind of work through that and learn how to deal with it on their own.
Right. Okay, let's shift gears. Let's talk about some of the things you saw in your scrimmages and some good things.
The effort was really good. We went into the first scrimmage against Stigler, and that's what we told them. That's the first thing we wanted to see was effort.
Right.
And because you can't coach effort.
Right.
That's our philosophy, and we tell them, that's the one thing you're in control of. You can't be necessarily the biggest, the fastest, or the strongest, or the smartest, but you can always give great effort.
Right.
So that's one of the things we put out there and try to get them all on the same page and then build from that. Defensively, I felt like the Stigler scrimmage, we were way ahead of where I thought we would be.
That's nice. That's a nice problem to have.
Yes, it was, because we had a lot of new faces, a lot of young players in there. We lost Contain on their quarterback. He was clocked at 4.35.
He's pretty good player, right?
He is. And I'm telling you what, when he decides to run, he doesn't take time to build up. It's like they shot him out of a cannon or something. So we lost on him a couple. He ran a draw one time on us, and our linebackers didn't feel right. And then the other time we lost Contain on a pass. So, other than that, I felt like we were pretty solid. It's hard to tell in scrimmages because, you go in, you have 15 plays or 12 plays, and, they can drive and fumble the ball and they keep it right there. And then so a lot of times you're going to get a score out of it. Offensively, we kind of sputtered a little bit at Stigler. Then we went to Central Salisaw. And overall, I think there was a big improvement on both sides of the ball. We got better, and that's kind of what you're shooting for at this time of year, to see some improvement.
All right, so this Friday night we have you guys are hosting the Checotah Wildcats.
Yes.
You guys have split the last 2 years, and so looking at this year, kind of what's your thoughts going into the game?
Well, they're a very experienced team. I think they have like 15 starters back. They've had some move-ins. They have a receiver at one of their exes. I went and watched them at their scrimmage against Muldrow and Hartshorn, and he is the real deal.
Right.
I mean, if it turns into a track meet, they're going to beat us pretty bad.
Right.
So we have to be able to play sound. Fundamentally, we want to keep the football, and that's kind of the way we've designed ourselves over the last couple of years.
Play some containment on defense, and then offensively hold on to the ball a little bit and keep it close, right?
Yes.
That's what we like to hear. That's one thing, we talked about this during media days. We're blessed to have all these great teams and great sportsmanship. And, we had Coach Hendricks in here a little bit earlier, and, he, had glowing reviews for Keys High School and Cougars, and exciting to get this season started.
It is, and him and his staff has done a great job there. They are a challenge for anybody because of their personnel. They've got a good mixture of big kids and fast kids.
Right.
And they had kind of had the advantage. It'd been a while, I think, since we had kind of beat them, and then last year, we won, and we won pretty convincingly. So I know their kids they marked it on the calendar and stuff. So
a little retribution, maybe, right?
Yes, sir. So and our kids are aware of that, and and it's one of those things we we need to, like I said, just deal with that initial surge that
Right.
they come out with until it settles down into a game, and then kind of go from there. It'll be a challenge. Bryce Sanders is, probably going to end up on their best receiver most of the time, and then they've got a couple of running backs along with their quarterback that they can run the football. One of both the running backs, if they get turned upfield, then it might be a little trouble trying to track them down.
Right, right. All right, Coach. Well, 7:30 over at Keys High School, Park Hill, and go support your Keys Cougars hosting the Checotah Wildcats. And if you can't make it to the game, we will have the game live Friday night, our very first game of the season. And we're very excited to get the football season kicked off and our very first Bravado Blitz. And Coach, thank you for coming out. You get to be our guinea pig for our very first show. And we appreciate you coming over and ready for a great game Friday night.
I am too, and I appreciate you having us and coming over and putting it on TV for us and things.
I think it's a great partnership, and I think even I don't know, is the scoreboard up yet? I know Bravado's going to be on the new scoreboard.
Not yet, but they're working on it. I was thinking they'd have it up by this time, but
so I'm anxious to see the Bravado Wireless on that scoreboard.
Me too, and we appreciate that.
Yes, that's like, that's what we're all about, is being partners with our schools, and we enjoy it. All right, folks, stick around. When we come back, we're going to close out the Bravado Blitz, and we'll talk about the games coming up for this week.
You are called to be bold. You have a right to the best wireless service, high-speed internet, and customer service at a price you can feel good about. At Bravado Wireless, we know this, and that's why we put you and your community first. We are owned and operated right here in Eastern Oklahoma. We live where you live. We proudly connect you to your family, friends, and business partners wherever they are. Dallas, Seattle, Taipei, Toronto, and anywhere else in the world. We are Bravado Wireless. We believe in the power of connection.
Back to the Blitz, and we had just had Coach Hendricks and Coach Crittenden on. We kicked you out and let them come in.
It's always a good thing.
But let's discuss the Checotah Wildcats and the Keys Cougars. Wildcats, we keep hearing that they're going to be probably as loaded as they were in that 2013 team when they went 10-2. The Keys Cougars, lots of injuries right now coming out of the two scrimmages that they've had. They've lost all three of their linebackers are banged up, and they've lost one of their big offensive linemen for this game. And so, big task. Checotah's loaded. I mean, what are your thoughts for the Wildcats going over to Keys?
Well, I think game one of each season, the coaches are looking to see what they've seen in the scrimmages, kind of maybe their preconceived notions of how they were going to look, and maybe the scrimmages have dispelled some of those notions.
Right.
And maybe they're reloading, trying to figure out exactly what we're going to do, and then, the injuries, man. So you'll get a chance to see some young guys play. I don't really know a whole lot about Keys. I'm closer to Checotah, but I've heard that Checotah is supposed to be as good as they've been in a long time.
Right.
I know the coaches have high hopes for them.
Right. And one thing as well as I do, these non-district games, that they're not, they mean a lot as far as morale, and you want to get the wins, obviously, but the main thing is in 3 weeks when they start district play.
Yeah, and every coach wants to start off the year right. So no matter what they may tell us to our face, they really want to get that season started off right, whether they have aspirations to go deep into the playoffs or if they're young and they're just trying to get some young guys some experience so that they can make a run in the playoffs.
Now, you've coached at the high school level, and what is it? Let's play, if you were Keys coach, you're banged up going to this game, what do you tell your kids? You're going up against a team that has a ton of speed and a lot of depth. What's something you just tell them?
I'd tell them to trust their coaching, especially if they're young kids. They've really got to trust their coaching and rely on that. The coaches have brought them through the preseason. If they're playing them, they think they're ready. So I'd tell them to just trust their coaches.
Right. Just play the game.
Yep.
Play the game. Listen to what the coaches say. All right, first show. We've accomplished a lot. We're going to have more next time, because then we're going to have a 5G, 4G, and a 3G player of the week, and then we'll have start having some the state standings and stuff we'll start putting up after week 1. So pretty excited what we're doing right here, and just having general thoughts on the season this year.
I'm looking forward to it. I know I only played 1 year of high school football before I gave it up to play basketball, but there's nothing like those Friday night lights, man.
Right.
I tell all my kids that play basketball for me, I'm like, man, fellas, you got to try it at least once.
Try it, yeah.
It's Oklahoma and football's king.
Right, that's no joke. And Brian's going to be with us this season. He'll be our color commentary throughout the football season. So I'm looking forward to that. He'll be here with the Blitz, doing the Blitz with us every week. So stay tuned. We'll have a new episode of the Bravado Blitz coming every Tuesday. Should release around noon. And next week we have Labor Day, so it'll release probably a day later. But nonetheless, stick around and check us out. Like I said, let us know what you like, what you don't like, and we're going to be improving every week. So we've got about 14 weeks, I guess, to see if we can get better at this. And
we're like those freshmen right in front of the cameras, man. We're learning as we go.
We're going to learn as we go. But folks, thanks for watching us, and we hope to see you if you can't make it out to Park Hill this Friday night for the Checotah Wildcats at the Keys Cougars. Be sure and watch it on bravadotv.com. And for myself, I'm your host, Eric Shannon, along with
Brian Shows, and have a great day if you want to.
From the Bravado TV studios, we'll see you this Friday night.